Today I want to talk about Moses Moody just a little bit after he has signed a contract with Nike for the next few years. I want to talk about what he could do for the Golden State Warriors next year, as well as moving forward in his promising NBA career. This is someone who was taken with the 14th overall pick in this 2021 NBA draft, and who was a fairly good scorer as a freshman with Arkansas last year, and will look to prove to be a valuable piece for the Golden State Warriors moving forward, although only at 19 and as a freshman, that role might be limited for next year. So let me talk about that as far as how his role could be limited next year. Let's put it this way. There is a lot of depth at the guard spot for the Golden State Warriors next year. I'm not saying all of it is great, but there are a lot of options. Michael Mulder, Chris Chiozza, Jordan Poole, Damian Lee, Andrew Wiggins will probably start at the 2, and then Klay Thompson, of course, when he comes back from injury. There's a lot of guys there that Moses Moody might simply put just not get ahead of the depth chart for, especially early on as he gets adjusted to the league and as Golden State push for a title and aren't necessarily concerned as much as some teams would with the development of a first-round pick like Moses Moody. Now, that's not to say that Moses Moody would be a terrible player year one, because I don't think he would be. I think he can still contribute to an NBA team next year. I think he's still going to be a solid player. At 6'6", he has decent length for the shooting guard spot, and at 210 pounds, he's not as weak as a lot of freshmen's one-and-done guys come into the NBA with. He also has a very good length, very good wingspan at 7 feet, so he's going to have a lot of potential to be solid on the defensive end. His shoot off the catch is very good. What is going to be important for him is he's most likely not going to be a primary ball handler very often, if at all, if he plays for the game, so being able to get those catch and shoot buckets are going to be very important. And he's going to know how to be able to create for others a little bit as well. He's not an elite playmaker by any sense, but he still has enough of a sense and good basketball IQ that he can be enough to make the right plays and the right passes without too much of a rough adjustment to the NBA level. Now, he isn't a super elite athletic guy. He's not a top-end speed guy. He's not top-end athleticism as far as quick movements, lateral, speed, vertical. He's not unathletic, but he's not the most athletic guy in the court. He is long and he has good length, but he's not necessarily the jump out of the gym, run you out of the gym type guy. So he's going to be one of those guys where he's most likely going to be a secondary guy in this offense, and I think he's probably always going to be a secondary guy in an offense. I think he's not going to be a guy who's blowing past guys, getting to the rim, creating for others. That's just not his thing. He can still create for others a little bit, but of course, to be an elite playmaker in this league, you need to be able to beat a guy, draw defensive attention to yourself. And I don't think Moses Moody is going to be that guy. Similarly, defending quicker, explosive players could also be a problem for him because of that lack of this vertical speed and athleticism that he has. As I mentioned, he's not an unathletic player, but he's definitely not as athletic as some shooting guards would be. And maybe that sees him potentially move long-term to a small forward spot where he's a bit undersized at 6'6", but not terribly undersized. He can put on a little bit more weight, a little bit more strength. That might be where he sees himself long-term, and that might be where they find a bigger need in this Golden State team long-term as well, depending on how the development of Jonathan Kuminga goes. Maybe he's a backup to Jonathan Kuminga long-term. That remains to be seen. But I think the main point is Moses Moody might have a bit of a bench role on this team next year, but I don't think he's going to have a significant role, if any roles, next year on this team. And long term, he's not going to be a primary guy. I don't know if he'll ever be a starter, and if he will be, it won't be as a primary #1 option. He's going to be a secondary guy on a team. He'll be good on catch and shoot. He'll be okay as a guard against small forwards potentially, but he's going to lack that lateral quick against the elite, quick, athletic guards. He definitely has potential to be a solid player in the NBA, but I don't think he's ever going to be an elite one. I don't think he's going to be a top-end guy on any team. I don't think he's ever going to be a #1, simply due to the fact that he just doesn't have the athleticism to do so. Now, sure, there are exceptions to that rule. You look at Nikola Jokic, look at Doncic, but those are for the elite talents, and I don't think Moses Moody is that. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think Moses Moody is still going to be a very good player. He's going to be someone who can be valuable as a 6th or 7th man on the bench, or a starting shooting guard or small forward who can be a bit of a secondary option, can defend a little bit, can shoot a bit on catch and shoot, can space the floor, and that's solid. He's going to be a solid player, but he's not going to be anything special. That's how I feel about Moses Moody, but let me know how you guys feel about Moses Moody next year and moving forward as we head into the 2021-22 campaign. Be sure to let me know down in the comments section. If you did enjoy the video, feel free to leave a like down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. And if you want to hear my thoughts on other rookies and young players moving into next season and beyond, be sure to click the box on the right-hand side of the screen. That being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys in the next one.